ended up working at a factory that I didn't like, wasn't making a lot of money.
I was at church, ran into a minister. He asked me, where did I work at? And I said, I don't work nowhere, I just got out of the penitentiary.
I was a factory worker at Ford Motor Company.
So I thought about it and I thought about it. I quit my job. I went through the pipeline program.
I decided to take a leap of faith.
When I actually seen that the people in the pipeline program were really trying to help you, I said, oh man, I'm on to something here.
Well, I've been able to change my life a couple of years ago. I lost my apartment. I wasn't able to drive my car. I couldn't afford insurance on the job I was, and I've fixed all of that.
My wife, she's more confident in me. I mean, my kids are more confident in me. When they tell their friends or when they go to school and say, my daddy's an iron worker, or my daddy helped build the arena, I can see the glow in their face.
They think it's wonderful. My daughter thinks I'm Superwoman.
In 2007, when the new KFC Yum Center was starting to take shape, it was part of a plan to revitalize downtown Louisville. But it was also part of another plan, one to revitalize Louisville's skilled labor force. A public-private partnership of nonprofit government labor contractors and civil rights organizations came together to create a special pilot program called the KentuckianaWorks Construction Pipeline.
For whatever reason, whenever there were construction projects built in this community, primarily they were built by literally all-white workforces because traditionally they went outside of the community and sometimes outside of the state to bring the workforce here.
Legislation for the arena was sort of a catalyst, if you will, that really gave us the spark to make this thing really take off and thrive.
The construction industry was booming. There was getting ready to be the bridges, there was going to be Museum Plaza, the arena's getting ready to start, and all these other private jobs. And so I think in Louisville, we were really, truly worrying about where was the workforce going to come from.
We wanted to take that opportunity, utilizing the arena project as a way to help to create a workforce so that in the future it couldn't be said any longer that we can't find any qualified minority contractors, or we couldn't find qualified minority construction workers, and similarly we couldn't find any more women construction workers or construction firms.
After many early discussions among community and civic leaders, provisions were added to the arena legislation that set a goal of employing 20% minorities and 5% women. It also set forth goals that 75% of the jobs would be reserved for Kentucky and Indiana residents, and 60% of the jobs would be reserved for residents of Metro Louisville. With its goals set, the partnership needed one more thing to make the pipeline a go: funding. So members of the partnership then approached Louisville Arena Authority Chairman and former Kentucky Secretary of Commerce, Jim Host.
I felt that there had to be a way that the state could participate, and we found a way through KentuckianaWorks, and the fact that there was money for the workplace for these kinds of programs, although it had never been utilized before.
We got the money from Governor Fletcher's administration, and we continue to get funding from Governor Beshear's administration. So that's a great triumph just in itself, that we've had a Republican and a Democratic governor both think that this is important enough to fund.
A regional workforce development agency, KentuckianaWorks, not only administered the financing, but also brokered the relationships between all the organizations involved. The Louisville Urban League, because of its many decades of experience in workforce development, was selected to facilitate and lead the collaboration among the pipeline's many partners.
There was a process. There was the recruitment, there was the enrollment, there was the selection, there was the training, there was the other support service that went along with that. And I would say the Urban League was kind of the glue that held everything together, because it went through our Center for Workforce Development that's run by Juanita Sands. And her staff was able to help with the recruitment, although the lead organization for recruitment was Justice Resource Center.
It's amazing how we were able to go out and recruit minorities and women, and we would go to different areas of the city, which we are still doing.
What we do is give the prospective applicant instruction in subjects that the building trades industry on a national level has determined gives them a greater probability to be successful when they pursue the apprenticeship opportunities in the 15 different skilled trades areas.
An advantage an individual has going through a pipeline like this is they've already got some understanding of construction and what's expected, and helps develop an interest for a respective trade.
Typically, an apprenticeship will last from 4 to 5 years. And during that process, the individual is learning the craft. It is comprised of on-the-job training and classroom training.
I think the numbers are good. They're not what we had originally anticipated. I think we could have tripled them under what the economy was as recently as 5 years ago.
Maybe 2,500 or 3,000 people that we have interacted with over time. Out of that group, we've had well over 250 that were selected and gone through the training, and over 100 of them have gotten employment.
I don't know of any other industry locally that's placed as many people in job positions as this program has over the last 2.5 years.
To date, we've had 35 people work on the arena from the pipeline, which is, which is stellar.
This project had goals that were set that nobody thought we could meet. We set goals of 60% of the local workforce, meaning Louisville SMSA, that's Louisville and all the counties that touch on Louisville. We set a goal of 60%. Today, as the project is being finished, we're at 62%.
We've also had a goal of 75% for the workers coming from the Kentucky, Indiana area. We're currently at 82%.
We set a goal of 20% minorities of the entire workforce. Today we're at 22%, and we set a goal of 5% women-owned businesses and women on the job, and today we're at 5%. So we have met and exceeded every goal that was set, and that shows that there's no reason why this type of goal can't be set for future projects like this that are done in the Commonwealth.
I think we've laid the foundation, and when the construction and economy gets back, we're going to have a workforce that will be able and ready to take advantage of the opportunities that exist.
Even though the market has really significantly changed, obviously after the downturn in 2008, what people in the business tell us is when the construction market improves, there's going to be a labor shortage. A lot of folks in construction are 55 plus and are looking for the right time to retire.
I really do believe that what we have done in this community for this project is replicable in other communities around the Commonwealth and around the United States. I hear from mayors often about the difficulty in a construction situation of finding sufficient number of skilled women or skilled minorities. Well, we've proven that we can train our own and then be able to give them the opportunity to participate.
We also see this as a best practice, and we're going to be promoting this program to other Urban League affiliates throughout the country.
Well, as a public servant or one who's gone into politics from that mindset of being a public servant, this is one of those moments that you live for, that you work for throughout your career.
The thing that I'm proudest of about the Arena Project is not the bricks and mortar, but the cementing together of this community and of this state between minorities and the workforce.
I've been very impressed with the urban leagues in the trenches, willing to be a partner, to hear what the customer needs, and then to deliver what that customer needs. Then the other thing I've been really impressed by is the unions have really walked the walk on this. When they say that they want diversity, they're not just saying it. They have shown us that if we can give them candidates that get to that threshold, they will work double and triple time to try to find opportunities for them in the apprenticeship programs.